where I'm like, yo, I'm about to get evicted. I don't got nowhere to go. I'm gonna have to sleep in my car and I can't. Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Deidre, and this testimony here, guys, so good. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad to have you. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Good to see you. How you been? How you doing? How your mom and them? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, guys, as you've seen from the title, you want to know what's going on. So let's get into it. But first, if you are not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and subscribe. Okay, you should have done that by now, but we are going to go into this testimony really quick. I'm so excited. I am like bubbling. Okay, but the goal of this YouTube channel is to encourage believers to dream big, live bigger, and to walk out their faith. So I'm going to tell y'all how I was walking out. I was crawling. Okay, so let me be honest. I was crawling first because I was like, I don't even have the strength to walk right now. But the Lord is faithful and the Lord is very, very kind. So this testimony segues from my previous video where I talked about how the Lord blessed me with 3 months of my rent. If you haven't watched that, I will put it here or in the description box below. Go ahead and watch it. Okay, because he did his big one on that. Thank you, Jesus. But while just picking up from that, some things were going on. I was in a lot of debt and just a lot of problems, and I didn't have the 2 pennies to rub together. Okay, if I had 2 pennies in my purse, they were fighting each other to see who was going to do what. And I was really struggling, guys. And the Lord really came through for me with people, with strategies, with finances, of course, but he really just sharpened my discernment during this time and showed me that I really had to lean on him and depend on him. Okay, so after I had paid that balance that I had with the money that God had gave me, I was still nearing the end of my lease, but I was like, I don't know what to do. I know they're not going to renew my lease because I had back rent that I owed, and we were in the process, like in the legal process of eviction, right? So while I did not get technically evicted, I ended up staying in my apartment until the end of my lease. But the week that my lease ended was the week that the sheriffs were actually going to come and put me out if I did not leave. So the Lord was telling me, like, you need to pack. You need to do this. You need to do X, Y, Z. And although I was in a low place, I was so sad. I was like, I'm going to just do it, you know. And I'm thankful to God because when I didn't know what to do, he sent my friend to give me some encouragement. And she was like, hey, why don't you reach out to your first lady at your church, like my brand new church that I've been going for like 2 weeks. Reach out to her and see if she has any advice. And guys, she did. Okay, I sent her an email. She called me back and she just went over, like, she gave me what I needed in that moment. The Lord knew I needed her in that moment because my parents don't live like down the street. You know, my parents live thousands of miles away, didn't have any family, didn't have any like close people to talk to during this time where I'm like, yo, I'm about to get evicted. I don't got nowhere to go. I'm gonna have to sleep in my car and I can't even get in the back seat of my car. Y'all, I'm recording from my iPad right now because my phone says that I don't have any storage, but the devil is a lie because I cleared my phone and I have the storage, okay? But the devil don't want this testimony to go forth because it says that we overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony. So we're going to keep it pushing. You see how hard I'm smiling? I'm so pleased right now. I'm so happy because the testimony is going to go forth in Jesus' name. I didn't even want to sleep in my car because I got in a car wreck. All this while I'm going through eviction. My brother had died from a heart attack. I was taking care of, some medical stuff, like a whole bunch of stuff. And I was like, I can't sleep in my car because I can't even open the back door to get in, because when she rear-ended me, she sealed the back door shut. So it's just so much going on. So my friend encouraged me. She said, reach out to your first lady. Mind you, I've been going there for 2 weeks. So I'm like, okay. She helped me so much. She called me and she literally gave me so many strategies. She said, we're going to come up with 5 things that you could do right now. Like, this is, they're planning on coming to evict you, regardless if you have the money or not. Like, it was to a point where even if I had the money, I could not pay them. The order had been stamped and sealed by the judge and everything. So I'm literally in the Lord's bosom right now. I'm like, I'm so close to you, God, because I'm like, they can't come and throw me out on the street. Okay. So we go through basically a strategy session, and she really helped me because I needed a parent. Okay. I just needed a parent. And she was literally, God sent her with an answer. And one of the answers that she recommended is that I stay with my friend, the one who encouraged me to talk to her. So my friend did say that I could stay with her. And I was like, because of pride, I was like, no, but long story short, I ended up staying with my friend for about 2 months. So I packed up and put my stuff in storage. And the week when my lease was ending, so I was not kicked out, honey, I left. The leasing manager and I had a really good relationship. So, that was God's favor all along there. He told me what to do with the key in the middle of the night and stuff. And just God just made sure that I had a smooth transition. So I ended up not having to sleep in my car. But I ended up staying with my friend, and she really helped me. It's rare to find a friend like that, especially that me and her didn't even know each other. We knew each other for like a year, and here I am sleeping on a blow-up bed in her living room. So so thankful. Love her. Love my Gigi. I know she's watching this. And yeah, so she's coming up in her lease too. And she's like, yo, I don't know what I'm about to do, whatever. And we're both just like, we're going through it spiritually, because we're just like, God, what is going on? Something's got to give. And I just started saying no. I'm calling those things that are not as they were, because I have to have somewhere to live. I got so angry about it at this point. I was like, no, you didn't take me out of that situation, put me under another roof for me to be for real on the street this time. I said, no, the devil is a lie. So I'm praying, I'm fasting. Okay. And I will say, like, the year before, I wasn't fasting like that. Maybe I was like, you're going to hear me. You're going to hear me. Okay. You're going to answer me. I was like, you will answer me, Lord, because this is not it. I don't accept. I was like, I do not come into agreement that this should be my life. So this is the main part, guys. I was not technically evicted, but it was on my record now, because they did seal it. Even though they didn't carry it out, it is going to be on my record. So going through a normal apartment wasn't going to work. And applying to various apartments when the money is tight wasn't going to work either. So I was like, God, I really don't want to just spend $100, $50 here applying for places, and I'm not going to be I'm not going to get accepted, because I have that. And there's no money in the savings either. There's no, the credit shot. It's all the things that you could think of that is going on. They're going on. So one day when I had made these little flashcards, and every day I would just, with Bible verses on them, some for peace, some for joy, some for talking about like finances and the inheritance of the kingdom. I wrote them down, and I was going over them and declaring them over myself, because I was like, no, whatever this doubt is, whatever this is, I'm flushing it out with the word. I'm flushing it out with the word. So one day I'm just sitting there, and I went on Zillow, because I'm like, okay, maybe if I find a house or something, then I won't have to go through like the normal apartment process of applying. So I'm not finding anything. Nothing really looks good. And I was like, ugh, I still don't want to pay $100. But Zillow, I think, had this thing at the time where you pay like $35 and you apply to, you could apply to as many private renters as you wanted for the month. And I was like, I still don't want to do the $35. So one day I'm scrolling and I see this one, like this house, and I was like, interesting. So I put in that, I would like for them to reach back out to me. I'm telling you, less than 2 minutes. The lady calls me back. And I just asked her, like, what's the process for getting this place? And she's so sweet. God went ahead of me and gave me somebody who was just so kind. And she starts talking, about the application fee and the rent and all the things associated with it. And I was like, okay, sounds good. I have not told her that I have an eviction on my record. I have not told her that. She opens her mouth, but it's in the back of my mind and I'm thinking it. She opens her mouth and she says, yeah, I don't know. Like, I just approved someone with an eviction on their record. So I'm like, you approved somebody with an eviction on their record? So I said, so when can I see the place? And she was like, you can see it right now. So she sends me a text. I hop in my car. My car is making this sound, cranking because of the accident. And I hop in the car and I go and see the place. And I spent an hour visiting the place because it was just me. Like, you had to put a code in and everything. I spent an hour. Began to usher in the Lord's presence and I started to ask him, is this okay with you? I didn't say if this was the place for me. I said, is this okay with you? Because I'm at the point where I'm like, this pleases me. Okay. And the Lord said, he'll give you the desires of your heart. And my desire is to move right now because we are over there struggling. We're going through. And I just stayed in here and began to usher in the presence of the Lord. I began to pray over the place. I was like, even if I don't get the place, like whoever comes in after me, that they will feel the presence of the Lord here. And I just sat still with him and I began to feel a peace wash over me as I was praying in all the rooms and envisioning myself in the space. But I didn't have the money to apply. This was like a Wednesday. I didn't have the money to apply. So I closed up the door and I said, put my hand on the door. I said, I'll be back. So on that Friday, I got some money and I was able to apply. She said, oh, it's going to take 3 days to go through the application. I applied at 9:45. By 11 o'clock, I was approved. By 11 a.m. before lunch, okay, I was approved to live in the place. So now I'm like, oh, we cranking up now, Lord. Like, okay, so where are we going to get this money from to move in? Because she tells me how much. So I was like, things are tight because I was giving my friend some money to stay with her and stuff. And I was like, I told her, I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to hold that off because, I need to move there. And she was totally fine with that. God bless her. So it took 2 weeks from that day for me to actually move in. Because she was saying that if you don't pay this money by a certain time, I'm going to have to give the place to somebody else. But God said, absolutely not. Not for my daughter, you're not going to do that. So I went ahead. I set up the gas. Okay. I didn't even pay the money yet. I started setting up the gas. When I tell you, you got to just get going, start putting some action on it. I put the gas on the place before I even signed the lease. I got the insurance on the place before I even signed the lease. I did everything for the place before I even got here. Packed up. Okay. Started to get ready to cancel my storage unit before I got the place. So I started feeling a little antsy, maybe like that second Friday, because I was like, I don't have the money. And I called her and I said, hey, I don't want you to think that I'm not serious. I just don't have the money right now. And she says to me, this is so good. She says to me, oh, I'm not concerned about that because as far as I'm concerned, the place is already yours. What? I'm here thinking like, yo, she don't get this money by Monday morning. She's going to get somebody my apartment. We're going to have to start all over again. And she's like, no, as far as I'm concerned, the place is yours. So when you have the money, you pay it because no one else is looking at the account but me at that property, but her. And she kept that word. Okay. I was able to get that money up from my job, just hold off on some stuff and piece some things together. And the Lord, I won't even let this piece out. During the time, I was like, God, it's so tight. Like, I do not have any money to squeeze. We weren't supposed to get annual raises at my job, but the week before I was supposed to get my other paycheck, I got a raise. And the raise was enough to cover the entire move-in cost for the place. Okay, like I was just like, I don't know what to do. I don't have any other money. I don't have anything in savings for something like that right now. And he gave me a raise. And I was able to take that money and I think buy like 2 or 3 things to eat for a couple of days, but I was like, I will eat the ramen noodles. Okay. I will split the ramen noodles in half and eat it because I want to see this thing through, Lord. So I'm just thankful to God because I did promise the Lord. I said, when I get in there, I'm going to make this video how you did that. And I did not do that. So I got to get to it. But God is just so faithful and God is so kind. So if you're going through something similar where you're just like, I don't know where it's going to come from, your help comes from the Lord, okay? Because I was like, I don't have anybody to call and ask for an extra couple $100s. I couldn't do like other things with my car to make any money because my back doors were closed. I was like, I literally cannot right now. But God really just wanted me to just lean on him. And when I tell you I was leaning, I won't even do it right now because I like to play, but I was leaning on him. I was resting on him. Like if God was trying to get up, they'd be like, what is this on my leg? Because I was on his leg. Okay. Just like that lady when she went to Jesus and she was like, yeah, heal my daughter. And he's like, I didn't come to you. I was like, and she said, I'm not leaving until you heal my daughter, basically. And I was like, yeah, I'm not leaving until you give me somewhere to live. Okay. Because I'm whatever plan B to Z is, that's not it. I'm a plan A person only. In this situation, there's no other option. I will accept no other option. Okay. So what did I do personally? I was in that word. The word was playing when I was sleeping. The first thing when I woke up, fasting. I'll be fasting. I'm seeking you because I'm like, I cannot in my finite wisdom, I cannot fathom, I cannot understand, I cannot think of a scenario where this works out for me, where I come up with the money, where I am in a positive outlook. So you, in your infinite wisdom, have to do this. It says that his ways are higher than our ways, and his thoughts are higher than our thoughts. So I'm like, your thoughts need to come through right now because I'm not understanding. So I just want to encourage you, if you're believing in God for something great, you're just like, I don't know what to do. Lean on him. You're just like, well, I'm already doing that. Lean more. Do something that you have never done. Okay? Desperate times call for desperate measures. When people in the world say that saying, they thinking they need to go and rob and kill and steal people. They're desperate. They don't care. I did not care. I was like, I am willing to look foolish for you because you said that your people will dwell in your people will live in shore dwelling places and in peaceable habitation. And me living in my car is not a peaceable habitation because I don't got no tent like that. So, yeah, you need to do something. So I just wanted to come on here and share my testimony with y'all and encourage you that if you're believing in God for something, believe. And if you have to do something and your family is just like, why are you doing it? Your friends are like, what is wrong with you? You know the God that you serve. He knows what is on the other side. He is not going to bring you through something and not have the provision at the end. Okay? He's not going to not have the provision for you all the way there. Look at the Israelites. A pillar of fire by night and a pillar of cloud by day followed them. They literally wanted for nothing. You know, they was complaining and grumpy and all the things, but he didn't leave them. So what makes you think he will leave you? He said he will never leave you nor forsake you. So I just want to encourage you today. And I'm thankful for the Lord for my iPad carrying me through, because this phone was playing, but I rebuke you in Jesus' name. You submit to me. I don't submit to you. Like, and that's another thing that I say. Like, I command things, okay? Especially because I know there is power in our words. The phone is man-made. I am man. I'm God-made. I don't submit to the phone. The phone submit to me. If the phone don't want to work, the phone go in the garbage. Okay, I used to say that to my car when it would turn on and it's making a sound. I said, wait a minute. Aren't you man-made? And I'm man, so you submit to me. That car turned right over. Turn the car, it wouldn't turn over. I said, no, you're man-made and I am God-made. You were made by me, so you gotta agree with what I say. You turn over right now. What the car do? Turn over. No. I don't. That's a whole separate thing that I could go into, but stay strong, you guys. Stay in that word. Stay in God's face, not in man's face, because man is going to tell you that it can't be done, but with God, it can be done, because it says nothing is impossible with God. So thank you for staying this long. If you have had a similar situation, or if this has encouraged you, please comment below and let me know. I am eager to hear from you, and don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, share with a friend, share with a family member, and continue to dream big, live bigger, and walk out your faith. I'll see you guys next time.